In Britain in 2008, there are approximately 200,000 16 to 18-year-olds who are not in education, employment or training. They've been dubbed NEETs. Most of these NEET young people drop out of school at the earliest opportunity. Why do these young people become so disengaged with education? And what can be done to prevent it happening?
I just don't like school. I didn't see the point in it. And now, looking back, now I've left, I feel I wish I'd done the work. I wish I actually listened.
School is all right. Got in a lot of trouble most days. Smoking, a lot of skunk.
Yeah, I wasn't the best behaved person at school. Most people muck about to get attention. I know I did. If someone starts telling you you're lazy and you're stupid, you start believing that, so you start acting the way they think you're going to act.
Primary, I enjoyed going to school. It was all right. Secondary, I didn't mind. Just started doing drugs, not going to lessons. I wouldn't go to school most days. Well, I would. I just wouldn't go in the gates. I'll go to the back school fields, somewhere like that, or I'll just turn up in my lessons stoned.
Young people fall out of education and training for all sorts of reasons, and I think there are a range of barriers to educational success that are not just about school life, but are about things that go on outside, which can lead to them switching off, becoming demotivated and disengaging from school life. And once that happens, there is a big chance that they will leave school with nothing.
There are a number of reasons why young people become NEET. It could be down to their own personal circumstances, it could be down to lack of motivation, it could be down to home life, it could be down to bullying at school, it could be that a teacher may have not given them the right encouragement. It could be a number of reasons.
Sam and Stacey are both 18 and NEET. They both left school at 16. Sam was bullied at school and struggled with dyslexia. Stacey was also bullied and left school as soon as she could.
With me being bullied, I started to miss school, didn't go to school, started to miss lessons because a certain individual was in my lesson. Tried to talk about it, that didn't help. So I just didn't bother going to school, and obviously that affected me because when it came to like doing my GCSEs, I wasn't concentrating, so I didn't get very good GCSEs, which is now I'm suffering later on in life.
I never used to get listened to by the teachers at all in school. I tried to tell them that I had learning difficulties, like with my dyslexia and my dyspraxia, and they told me I was not dyslexic, I was just lazy and stupid.
Mike is 17 and got involved with drugs while he was at school.
Most of the time I was sent out of the classroom. That was it really. I just got sent out most days. Wasn't there half the other time. I got kicked out of school, and then I went to Cantley Pupil Referral Unit, and then I went to jail.
Most people muck about to get attention. I know I did. I mucked about to get the teacher's attention because once she was over there, or he was over there, talking to me, then I could talk to them about whatever I wanted because I already had their attention. So that's probably why most children muck about in their classes, to get attention.
Sam and her friends spend their evenings hanging out at the local supermarket car park.
Basically, I either drive around and go pick everyone up, and then we just sit here and chill out, like the boys play football, girls sit in the car and keep warm and just chat.
Tell them about Friday nights, Sam.
Friday nights are the best night. Everyone gets drunk on a Friday night.
Most of Sam's mates left education at 16. They've all been NEET at one time or another. Though some of them do currently have jobs, like most NEET young people, they drift in and out of low-skilled and low-paid employment.
I've always hated school, just but now I regret it. I wish I did go back, but I hate to do sixth form. I just wouldn't be able to do it. Just too much work and that.
I got kicked out of school when I was 16 for fighting, obviously. And then I don't know, I tried looking for a job, I didn't find nothing. Well, I didn't really look, I just stayed at home, sold drugs, sold some other stuff, and then quit that because I found a job, and then it's alright, but if I get fired, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Sell drugs again.
Like my family's just like always been in the work trade and that, so you can just, so I don't have to go looking for a job. I'll just like ring up my uncle and go, yeah, can I work with you for a couple of days? If I like it, then I'll just stay with him. But my brother wanted me to work for him for roofing, and I've done that for like a month and a bit. Oh, it was just terrible, I hated it, but I was looking for a job for ages, I just couldn't find nothing. You can't find a decent job these days when you're young. You just got to start off at the bottom, get pay. And...
If you could go back and do school again, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You'd actually pay attention this time. Yeah, because you've seen what's actually happened to yourself, like, by not paying attention.
Because...
No, I don't think I would either.
No,
I'd just
can't.
go there for the girls, aren't
I? But say like you went to a boys' school, yeah, you just can't because you're just pissing about all day long, ain't you? You got to do the work and that, and then some din lad over there is pissing about, and then you just like...
You go and join him.
Yeah, you join in with him and you just get busted.
Say you're speaking to a receptionist, okay, and really she's not interested if you get the job or not, and you say...
Though Sam, Stacey and Mike are currently NEET, they've enrolled on a programme run at their local youth centre.
So, questions that you want to ask the employer.
The course aims to teach them basic skills to make them more employable.
Yeah, don't butt in. If they're trying to explain something to you...
The aim of the course is to get young people into some form of education or employment. Now, the aim of the course isn't to get them a job at the end, it's to be able to build up their CV, to be able to give them their key skills. So at the moment their CV will just say their name, their address and possibly a qualification that they got at school. At the end of this course they're going to be able to have their name, their address and accredited outcomes, volunteering skills, communication skills, something that makes them look more employable to an employer, to get their foot through the door.
We're doing anti-bullying work.
The thing that tends to hold a lot of young people back, that I tend to find, is their confidence and their learning styles as well. At schools they feel they have to fit a certain criteria, a certain mould. At least with this project we can adapt to their learning styles. So we can build on their confidence, we can then build on their own natural core skills to be able to give them some form of encouragement so they can actually feel like they can move on.
I'm calling because I see an advertising in the paper for volunteers.
Yep.
And I'm very interested in volunteering with your company.
Okay, yep, brilliant.
The reason why I'm not doing anything now is because I haven't really got the confidence to. I've got application forms to fill out, but I haven't really got the confidence to sit there and fill them out. So I'm doing the course to try and help me build up my confidence, build up my life skills, and then hopefully someone to help me to fill out the application form for the job that I want to do.
How do you think she went, guys?
When I left school, I left with all of my GCSEs, apart from one, apart from music. English, I got E's and F's, and same with maths and science. I just got basically E's and F's, and I got a D in child.
It says you don't need training, that's why I'm doing it.
Tell me kicked your dog.
On my GCSEs, I think I got all below D's, but to me that's good because they could have had none. Since I've left school, I've been in retail. I've done retail twice. I've also done a cleaning job, working in a care home and working for my local council. And now I'm here.
I felt happy that I actually got my GCSEs because I didn't think I was going to do that well, considering that I didn't have much help. Then I went on to do 2 years at college. Done the first year within childcare, which I got lots of help because of my dyslexia. They started to realise and read things to me and they said that the school should have done that to me for my exams, and that might have improved my score for my English results and stuff. And then I'd done another year as public service that I finished last September.
You're on a course to gain new skills, gain some confidence in yourself. Some of you have got...
I think young people don't understand that you have to work so hard. Like with me, I've left school and now I wish I could go back. I wish I could turn back the clock and just do all my work and get the grades that I wanted. I'm quite upset with myself because I know I could have done better. I know I'm just a quitter sort of thing. I don't carry things out. I just think, oh well, maybe next time. But there isn't going to be a next time, so.
It's 6 p.m. In Bromley, South London, youth worker Paula Wellington is on her weekly walkabout of the town. She and her team go in search of NEETs, whom she hopes to help into employment or training.
We're going to carry on walking down Burnt Ash Lane past the shops. Some young people, I feel, become disengaged because I feel, well, they feel like at school, if they need help in certain things, they'll ask the teacher and the teacher won't bother, so they become disruptive. And then they say like the teachers don't bother with them once they've become disruptive. And so in the end, it just turns them off of school. They either truant, and then that opens a whole can of worms. Because if they do truant and their parents think they're at school, the parents can get in trouble for that. But yeah, basically I think they think that it's school. And sometimes they follow what their friends do. If their friends are not at school or their friends are not working, they'll think, yeah, let's hang out on the street. We come down to this ward once a week just to see how young people are getting on, and if they can't access our centre, then we take what we've got at our centre to them out on the streets. So it could be sexual health, it could be homelessness, it could be job search, it could be all sorts of things, and we just take it to them out on the streets, and if they need our advice on anything, we just give them the advice that they need or push them to the right agencies.
However, actually getting disengaged young people to access support services is not easy.
Hello, young boys. You all right? How old are you lot? 14. How old are you? 18 and a half. Are you working at the moment? You're not? Are you looking for work? Okay, because we could have helped you get employment. When do you think you'll be ready to get employment? We're a youth centre just up the road that help young people into employment or college. So if you was interested in it at any time, we could come and help you out.
I've got a job, but I'm just waiting for it.
All right then. Okay, you take care. See ya. There's a young person that we just met. He is 18 years old, but he wasn't really interested. I asked him if he was working, and he said no, he's not doing anything at the moment. But then I asked him again, he was like, yes, I'm working now. But I think he just doesn't want any help. I explained what we do, and if at any time he was interested to come down and get help, then we're there. But he just didn't want to know.
Not all young people who are NEET aren't layabouts. They're just sometimes young people who've just got no direction. They just don't know where to go, and they haven't been given the help. Some of them don't have the help from home. Some of them don't have the motivation, the push to actually being told to get out of bed, go and find yourself a job. They're just left to their own devices. The press, the public may seem all young people who are not in education and employment are people who wear hoodies, are people who go out and hang on the streets and smoke dope. It's only a very, very small proportion of young people that actually go out and do that. Building up a relationship with a young person isn't the hard part for myself personally. I think the hardest thing is being able to get that young person to relate to what they need to get out of life.
So how do schools go about giving their pupils a real sense of direction?
I think at school the teachers can be a bit more supportive and more helping and understanding rather than moaning and shouting, and actually listen to you and what you're saying and not ignore you. So I think that might help people if they know that there's a teacher that's going to listen to them and talk to them and help them, then it's going to make them want to go to school and concentrate more and get the grades they need.
I never used to get listened to by the teachers at all in school. I tried to tell them that I had learning difficulties. That was hard for me because I couldn't understand why they was not listening to me, why they weren't listening to my mum when she was telling them that I had learning difficulties.
Schools do what they can, and I can't tarnish every school with the same brush. There are some schools out there who do an excellent job with the young people from all different backgrounds and different situations that will really strive to help every young person move on, whether they want to get GCSEs or they don't want to get GCSEs, to help them go through college. There are other schools who make it seem like it's just a tick in the box, that they've come here, have they got a qualification? Yep. Have they? No. Right, and move them on. It's a difficult task for them.
For those we talk to who work with NEET young people, there is a clear answer to preventing them dropping out and ending up in a dead-end situation.
Sometimes schools do have mentors to talk to troubled young people, whether it could be any issue. Just, yeah, more support, I feel, before they actually truant or get permanently excluded. Just more support for the young person. If they have a special need, it should be picked up sooner rather than later. If it's picked up later, then young people tend to feel, oh, why should I bother? No one's bothering with me, so why should I bother? Once you get in early, you can work with the young people and they can progress from there. If you leave it later, they're probably more disengaged and just don't bother doing anything.
One school which believes in the value of early intervention is Quintin Kynaston School in northwest London. The school has established a system aiming to ensure that every student is on target to achieve and ultimately avoids ending up NEET.
We have a very rigorous tracking system from the minute that students come into the school in Year 7, which identifies the qualifications and the level of qualifications that they should leave school with at the end of Year 11 or go through to the sixth form, which is the case for most of our young people. And we identify at every 6-7 weeks those students who are at risk of not achieving. And if they're at risk of not achieving their academic potential, it indicates that there's something going on that we need to address. It may be it's an issue about the curriculum and issues around their learning. It may be issues to do with things that are going on outside of school and which provide barriers to learning. And we have created a multi-agency team within the school, which includes social workers, health development workers, psychotherapists, learning mentors, youth development workers, who then work with individual or groups of students to try and re-engage them with the learning process. As long as they're engaging with learning, we can keep hold of them.
I need to believe that you can do it.
One of the school's initiatives is the SEED programme, which works specifically with disengaged girls in years 10 and 11.
The whole point, and some of you might say, okay.
Every year there are a group of disaffected girls who come into the school, and they're often very able, and through adolescence, particularly through Year 9, when the girls are about 14, they switch off. They become disengaged, they have low levels of self-esteem, and they don't view themselves as being worthy learners. And what the SEED programme does is identify some of those students who are at risk of not achieving, and it works with them through a programme which is focused on raising self-esteem, raising self-awareness and self-confidence, having a sense of kind of understanding of what some of the external issues are, and makes those young women feel proud of who they are and what they can achieve.
Where do you feel you are now? 3. 3? Great, at least you're not number 2. So
the programme was devised and piloted in 2007 by Coral Joseph, the school's Connections personal advisor. Coral encourages the girls to take responsibility for their own lives and outcomes.
Yeah. You need to have set targets, okay? If you don't have set targets and you don't know, you won't be able to put a plan in action to achieve those. I try to encourage young people to understand that it's their future, and actually at the end of the day, they need to take ownership of their future, of their lives.
Because you know what you want to do, what you want to do, but as well you need to know exactly what you have to do to make it work.
If they don't have a goal, there's no purpose. And I look at not just for GCSEs, where will you be in 5 years' time? What would you like to achieve? Once you can set like a little dream for them, then okay, that's not unachievable. Before the session started, I asked you all to give a specific target. So let's start with you, Ihona. What's your target?
To achieve all my target grades and go to uni.
Okay. Yusra?
To get good results in my GCSEs.
One of the main things I focus on is you are unique. You don't have to be like everybody else. You have got qualities that nobody else has got, and it's all based around them. They develop a personal portfolio that's just about them. So even though we have a group work, it's all about them, my story, my personal statement, my future, my learning styles. It's just about me. It's nothing to do with GCSEs or anything. It's just for them. And I think they like to learn about themselves. I think once you know about yourself, then you can decide, actually, I want to be doing this. This is where I want to go.
I think everyone's is similar as mine too, because I want to become successful in life, and to do that I've got to pass on my GCSEs, so it'll open more options for me because I don't know what I want to be when I'm older.
Okay, so, right, you're the only one that's given me a reason why you want to pass your GCSEs. Anybody else? Michelle, why do you want to get good grades?
I want to achieve A's in English, psychology and media because I want to do something with advertising. And those 3 subjects would help me.
What about you, Yusra?
Just something to fall back on if you start flopping when you grow up.
And anything specific?
Not sure. Not sure yet.
Okay. So
Coral's programme is particularly targeted at changing her pupils' attitudes towards their education and schoolwork.
When we're going to achieve that.
I used to come to school every day. My attendance wasn't a problem. But it was the attendance to my lessons that was the problem. I never used to go to much lessons. But I didn't think of it in the long run until Coral explained to us that we had to do well if we wanted to be successful in life.
See, I thought I'll just do my GCSEs and start working. And yeah, just start working and not carry on. But it wasn't going to get me far.
I was a bit cheeky when I was small because everyone was growing up. I was in year 7, year 8, and I would easily get influenced and distracted by my other friends. Now I know that I need to go lessons and I need to do things for myself and depend on what I want to do, not what other people want me to do. So Coral let me see that.
I gave up on myself, and as soon as I met Coral, she pushed me to believe that I can do it. Even after I messed around so much and I bunked all the lessons and my attendance was so bad. And my attendance improved a lot since then. And I'm on track in all my lessons and my coursework's all up to date.
If I didn't change my attitude there and then, I would have ended up somewhere I didn't want to be, like failing. And I've got quite high hopes for later on. I want to go to university and I want to do all of that. And when it came to GCSEs, I thought, no, that's not that serious. But in order to carry on to go to university, I had no choice but to pass.
You could achieve the grades, but you're a little bit below the grades because you guys were messing about.
Coral believes that the success she's had with the girls' achievements is linked to one key factor, that they see her as a mentor rather than a teacher.
What do you think, Katrina? So many kids come here with so many issues and they have no one to offload it to, so they kick off in class. You can't learn with issues. There's lots going on at home, there's lots going on the road. Because they know I'm here, my door's always open, they'll come, knock on the door, can I have a quick word with you, Coral? This is what I'm going through. Okay, how do you think you can get over this? I work out of school hours as well. I can go on the road, I can go to their parents, I can go to their homes and do home visits. So I look at them more of holistic, more than academic. That's what I'm here for. I work in the school, but I don't work for the school. I'm just here actually just for the young person.
Schools cannot afford at any point in a child's educational career to let them go. They have to be constantly on the radar, they have to be monitored, they have to be mentored if necessary, they have to be tracked according to their progress so that they're at no point do they fall off the radar. It's when children fall off of the school's radar, they're often also falling off of the radar of external agencies, social services, the police, and they become, they're lost to all of us.
The reality, though, is that despite the efforts of schools like Quintin Kynaston, too many young people are continuing to slip through the net. thousands of teenagers like Sam and Stacey leave school with low GCSEs and low self-esteem. Not only are they disadvantaged, but society suffers too. In response to this situation, the government plans to raise the leaving age from education and training to 18. The ambition is that young people will be more engaged in education if offered a range of vocational courses closely tailored to their needs. If it's really going to work, it must stop young people from feeling that education just isn't for them.
As school is at the moment, most people want to leave as soon as they can. But if school changes for the better, then I don't think people will mind, because some people go on to sixth form anyway. So I don't think some people will mind staying on, but I think most people won't like it.
I think it's a good idea if young people stay in school till they're 18, because then they can get more experience and the grades they want and more help and support into getting the job that they want. So I think it's a good idea.
What schools have got to be able to do is, from the minute students come in, is to, as I say, to create an ethos which says you can achieve in this school, we value what you're all about, we will create a curriculum which is personalised, which will allow you to be successful, and we will not let you fall off of our radar. And that's what we've done at this school, which is why 100% of students last year left school with GCSEs. There wasn't a single student that left this school last year without 5 GCSEs, including English and Maths. And I think that in itself indicates that students do want to do well. They don't want to be kind of left flailing around at the, underneath society's radar. They want to be engaged. And I think schools have to give a message that says, this school won't let you fail. And that would be my message to everybody. Schools will not let children fail.